Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop letting your laziness steal your future. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you force into your life. Every second you waste without control is a second wasted forever. This audiobook will show you exactly how to crush resistance, build unshakable habits, and force yourself to achieve anything you want. No motivation, no luck, just discipline, executed relentlessly. You either act now, or you stay average forever.
Chapter 1. Face your weakness head on. Wake up, right now. Stop pretending you're stronger than you are. Every day you deny your weaknesses, they grow. Every moment you ignore your habits that waste your time, you dig a deeper hole. Look at yourself honestly. Are you procrastinating? Are you endlessly scrolling your phone while opportunities pass by? Are you avoiding the tasks that could change your life because they feel uncomfortable or inconvenient? If you said yes, you're not weak by accident. You've trained yourself to be. But the truth is, awareness is the first step to power. Here's the reality. Life doesn't wait. It doesn't care if you feel ready. Every second you avoid your weaknesses is a second lost to someone else who is taking action. You don't need permission to start improving. You don't need validation from anyone. You only need to face your patterns and decide to take control. Think about social media. Millions of people spend hours scrolling feeds. Likes, memes, debates, they consume your mental energy and steal your focus. While you're trapped in that loop, someone else is building a skill, a side hustle, a business, a life. Discipline isn't complicated. Discipline is simply choosing to stop the scroll. Procrastination doesn't just slow you down, it erodes confidence. Every time you delay, every time you avoid it, your brain trains itself to accept delay as normal. The longer you wait, the more comfortable weakness becomes. Wake up. See clearly. Accept responsibility. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is subtle. Fear disguises itself as comfort. You may tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll figure it out later." But that's not planning. That's hiding. Fear convinces you that inaction is safe, when in reality, inaction is the slowest path to regret. Every choice to avoid your weak spots compounds. Every day, that small hesitation grows into a mountain of lost opportunities. Here's a practical step. Identify one area where you're weakest. Maybe it's managing your time. Maybe it's your focus. Maybe it's your health or finances. Now pick one action today that challenges that weakness. Just one. It doesn't need to be huge. The size of the action isn't the point. The point is you're proving to yourself that you can act, even when it's uncomfortable. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's break it down with an example. Imagine someone who spends 2 hours a day endlessly browsing their phone. That's 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month, nearly 500 hours a year. Those are hours that could have been spent learning a skill, exercising, building a relationship, or creating something meaningful.
Each time you decide to keep scrolling, you reinforce weakness. Each time you choose action instead, you reinforce strength. Strength is a habit. Weakness is a habit. Admitting weakness is not a weakness itself. It's the beginning of power. Real leaders, real achievers, don't ignore the cracks in their armor. They see them, acknowledge them, and then deliberately train themselves to improve. You don't need permission to face your own truth. You don't need anyone's approval to take control of your life. You do it because no one else can. Here's another truth. Avoidance compounds stress. The more you avoid it, the more it grows. Tasks you postpone don't disappear. They pile up. They haunt you in the back of your mind. Your brain knows you're avoiding it, and it punishes you with guilt and anxiety. Discipline is not about feeling good. It's about doing what must be done, even when it's uncomfortable. So what does facing weakness head-on look like in practice? It's simple, but not easy. List the areas where you fail yourself. Be brutal. Be honest. Then assign one corrective action for today, not tomorrow, today. No excuses, no negotiation. Let's reinforce this with a final example. Think of someone learning a language. They spend 1 hour a day practicing. Simple, right? But if they avoid practice, they stay weak. If they practice consistently, strength compounds. The same principle applies to every skill, habit, and personal discipline. Face weakness, take action, repeat daily. Every chapter of your life will test this principle. The temptation to quit will come. Distractions will scream. Comfort will seduce you into weakness. Fight it. Each time you confront a weakness, you reinforce discipline. Each time you deny it, you reinforce failure. You have a choice. You don't need anyone's approval. Face it or fail. That's the key. By the end of today, make a decision. Stop running from your weaknesses. Stop hiding in procrastination. Stop letting fear dictate your actions. Take one bold action to address your biggest weakness and do it without hesitation. That moment is yours. That choice is yours. Every second you delay, the world moves on without you. Wake up. See clearly. Accept responsibility. You've now faced the truth. Weakness exists. Weakness is your enemy, but it's also your opportunity. Every step you take toward facing it head-on compounds strength. Every deliberate action against weakness trains your mind, builds resilience, and reinforces discipline. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. You act because you know this is the only way forward. You mastered your weakness. Now, let's take it further.
Chapter 2. Stop procrastinating. Start forcing action. Let's cut to the truth. Waiting for motivation is a trap. Waiting to feel ready is the reason most people never achieve anything. Willpower is fleeting. Desire is unreliable. You have to act before you feel like it. That's the key. Force action. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when your brain screams, later. You've seen it. The entrepreneur who waits for the perfect moment, the right day, the right energy, the right mood, ends up falling behind. The one who starts messy, imperfect, unprepared, moves first, learns faster, and wins. Action beats intention every time. You have a choice: delay and regret, or act and grow. Understand this: inertia is the enemy. Your body and mind are designed to conserve energy. They want comfort, distraction, excuses. The first step of action feels heavy because you're going against your natural resistance. That's why forcing yourself is critical. You don't wait for courage to appear. You summon it through movement. You have a choice. Here's a practical rule. Pick one task you've been avoiding, right now. Not tomorrow, not after lunch, now. Force yourself to start. Just begin. The first minute is always the hardest. After that, momentum kicks in. You've broken inertia. You've taken a step toward mastery. Do it now. Force it. No excuses. Let's talk about habits. Action is the mother of habit. Every time you force action, you are rewiring your brain. You're training it to respond to discipline rather than distraction. In time, forcing action becomes easier because the habit of completion overpowers procrastination. It's not about waiting to feel ready. It's about creating readiness through relentless execution. Here's a real-world example. A writer sitting at a blank page. Most would wait for inspiration. Those who succeed, they write, even when the words feel wrong, even when the ideas feel dry. They write because action is non-negotiable. Inspiration follows action, not the other way around. That's the principle you must apply in every area of life. Let's address excuses. They're abundant. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll do it later. Stop lying to yourself. Every excuse is a leash that keeps you weak. Discipline is breaking that leash. Force the action, right now. Even small steps compound. Force movement until it becomes non-negotiable. Do it now. Force it. That's the key. Here's another method. Time blocking with deliberate urgency. Choose a task. Set a timer for 15 minutes. No distractions, no phone, no waiting. Just work. Force yourself to finish at least a portion. That short period of relentless focus creates a habit of action. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You have a choice. Understand the mental principle here. Procrastination is not laziness. It's fear disguised as comfort. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of imperfection. The antidote is action. Force yourself to act despite fear. Each step forward weakens fear. Each pause strengthens it. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's apply this to life beyond work. Cleaning your space, responding to messages, exercising, learning a new skill. Every area suffers if you wait to feel ready. The world doesn't care about readiness. The world rewards those who act relentlessly. Force action until it becomes instinct, until the idea of waiting feels foolish. That's the habit of the relentless. That's the pathway to achievement. Do it now. Force it. No excuses. You have a choice. Now let's visualize the cost of delay. Each day you procrastinate, you lose opportunities. Jobs not applied for, ideas not executed, skills not learned, confidence eroded. Every second you wait, someone else moves ahead. Discipline is claiming time you've been wasting. You have a choice. Finally, make this your rule. If you feel resistance, push harder. If it feels uncomfortable, push harder. If you want to quit, push harder. Force action until it becomes instinct, until the idea of waiting feels foolish. That's the habit of the relentless. That's the pathway to achievement. Do it now. Force it. No excuses. You have a choice. Your challenge for today. Identify one task you've been avoiding, the one that makes you hesitate, the one that keeps you weak. Start it. Finish it. Don't wait for conditions to be perfect. You are the executor. You are the force. You don't need permission. You have a choice. That's the key. Now you've learned the truth. Willpower is fleeting. Motivation is unreliable. Comfort is a trap. The solution is simple yet difficult. Action, repeated relentlessly. Force movement. Break inertia. Build momentum. That's how discipline is forged. You broke the first barrier by recognizing procrastination. Now, let's harness the environment to eliminate temptation and reinforce action.
Chapter 3. Master your environment. Master yourself. Discipline is visible. You think it's about willpower, but that's only half the story. The other half? Your environment. External cues control your behavior more than you realize. The books you keep on your shelf, the apps on your phone, the notifications that ping every 5 minutes. All of these dictate how your day goes. That's the key. You must design your space so it works for you, not against you. Look around you. Is your desk cluttered? Is your phone within reach, buzzing constantly? Is your room a playground for distraction? Every unplanned cue chips away at focus. Every small temptation weakens resolve. You have a choice. Live in chaos or shape your environment to support your goals. The principle is simple. If you remove the easy paths to distraction, you force your mind to act in alignment with your intentions. This is why top performers obsess over their environment. Writers who banish social media to finish a book, gamers who mute notifications to complete work, entrepreneurs who organize their desks so decisions are faster, simpler, cleaner. Control your space, control your mind, control your outcome. Start with the obvious, your workspace. Clean, minimal, purpose-driven. Every item should have a function. If it doesn't, it's a distraction.
Phone, out of reach or in another room. Notifications, off. Email, scheduled blocks only. This is not overkill. This is discipline made visible. Every choice you automate is energy you save for execution. You have a choice. Use it. Next, examine your digital life. Social media is a time thief disguised as entertainment. It tricks your brain into thinking you're being productive when you scroll endlessly. Force limits. Delete apps if necessary. Use website blockers. Schedule your online time. The goal is to make distraction inconvenient and discipline effortless. That's the key. But it's not just about eliminating. It's also about designing cues that trigger productivity. Place a notebook next to your bed. Keep a water bottle visible on your desk to remind you to stay hydrated. Put a vision board where you can see it daily. Small external cues shape internal behavior. Control your space. Control your mind. Control your outcome. Here's the mental strategy behind it. Humans are cue-driven creatures. We respond to stimulo more than logic. If you see a notification, your brain reacts before you consciously decide. If your environment is messy, your mind becomes messy. If temptation is near, your discipline erodes. Make your environment an ally. Make it impossible to fail in small ways. That's how you build momentum.
Let's take a practical example. Writing a book. Many aspiring authors fail not because of lack of ideas, but because of distraction. One author places their phone in another room, turns off Wi-Fi, and sets a timer for 60 minutes. During that hour, the only focus is writing. They finish what others postpone. The environment enforces discipline. The result? Completion. You have a choice. Gamers face a similar challenge. The console, the notifications, the quick dopamine hits, they hijack focus. But by turning off alerts and scheduling gaming for later, they reclaim hours that were slipping away. Energy saved here is energy applied to progress. Discipline is enforced. That's the key. Your environment is also about social influence. Who you spend time with shapes your habits. Are your peers supportive or distracting? Critical or lazy? Every interaction either strengthens your focus or weakens it. You don't need permission to cut ties or limit exposure. You have a choice. Associate with the committed or suffer the consequences of distraction. That's the key. Another tactic, visual reminders. Post sticky notes with your goals. Keep a calendar with deadlines prominently displayed. Small reminders outside your mind create automatic focus triggers inside your mind. This is externalizing discipline. You don't have to rely on willpower alone. You have a choice. Now let's address the mental resistance. You might think, I can stay disciplined anywhere. That's false. You're only as strong as the environment allows. Even the most motivated person falters in chaos. Master your surroundings first, then your mind follows. It's not about raw willpower. It's about designing your life to make success inevitable. Control your space, control your mind, control your outcome. The final layer, daily routines. Environment isn't static, it shifts. Your discipline will waver if you don't adjust the triggers. Morning rituals, work rituals, evening rituals, they are all part of your environment. Make them predictable, non-negotiable, supportive. That's how consistency survives even when motivation dies. You have a choice. Let's visualize the cumulative effect. Every hour you spend in a distraction-filled environment is an hour lost to growth. Every day, weeks, and months compound. Small changes in your environment create massive gains in output and focus. Discipline is visible. It's tangible. It's enforced by the space around you. That's the key. Your action plan today. Identify 3 distractions that cost you the most time. Remove them immediately. Identify 3 cues that trigger productivity. Place them strategically. Reshape your environment to be a machine for discipline. Force your mind to follow your space, not the other way around.
Remember, it's not about sheer force of will. It's about designing conditions where discipline is inevitable. Every object, every cue, every space decision either supports your success or undermines it. You have a choice. Make it deliberate. Make it powerful. Control your environment, and your mind will follow. Control your environment, and your outcomes will multiply. You've now learned that discipline isn't just internal, it's external. You've learned to engineer your space, your digital life, and your social circle to support relentless action. The next step is to dominate your day before it dominates you.
Chapter 4. Dominate your morning. Dominate your day. The first hour of your day determines everything. You think discipline starts when the workday begins, but that's wrong. Discipline starts the moment you open your eyes. Your morning is the foundation. Your morning sets the pace. Your morning defines your momentum. That's the key. Most people waste it. They hit snooze. They check their phones. They scroll. Every minute lost is energy drained before the day even starts. That's weakness disguised as comfort. You have a choice. Wake strong or watch opportunity slip past. Let's be clear. Dominating your morning is not about following someone else's ritual. It's about designing a routine that forces focus, action, and energy every single day. What you do in the first 60 minutes dictates the next 12 hours. That's the truth. You don't need permission to take control. Top performers understand this. Successful CEOs, athletes, writers, they act before the world intrudes. Exercise first, journaling second, high-impact tasks third. These are not suggestions. They are non-negotiables. The world doesn't wait for motivation. You must create it yourself. Wake strong, act first, own every hour. Start with physical energy. Move your body immediately. A short workout, push-ups, jog, stretch. Blood flowing, mind alert, fatigue expelled. You don't need hours at the gym, just consistency. Movement ignites discipline. It primes your brain to attack challenges instead of avoiding them. You have a choice. Lie down or rise with power. That's the key. Next, clarity of purpose. Journal for 5 to 10 minutes. Write the tasks that matter most, the priorities that demand action. List the one thing that, if completed, will push your life forward. This is not optional. Your mind craves structure. Give it structure. Your morning determines focus. You have a choice, clarity or chaos. Nutrition is also a weapon. Fuel yourself intentionally. Skip the sugar-laden breakfast. Skip the coffee-fueled panic. Protein, hydration, vitamins. Your body is your engine. Your morning is the ignition. Treat it with respect. Discipline starts at the table. That's the key. Now, let's tackle your environment. Your morning must be distraction-free. Phone on silent or in another room. Social media is inaccessible. Email unopened. The world can wait. Your priorities cannot. Discipline is enforced through choice, and every choice you make before 9 a.m. compounds throughout your day. You have a choice. Protect it, guard it, own it. Here's a practical example. A high-performing entrepreneur wakes at 5 a.m., exercises for 20 minutes, journals for 10, then attacks the most difficult task of the day. By 7 a.m., she's accomplished more than most do in half a day. She has momentum, she has energy, she has control. Your morning can do the same for you, if you force it.
Resistance will come. You'll want comfort. You'll want to linger under warm blankets. You'll rationalize scrolling for news or inspiration. That's a weakness. Discipline is not comfortable. Discipline is action in the absence of feeling ready. You have a choice: succumb or dominate. Wake strong, act first, own every hour. Mental preparation is another layer. Visualization, affirmations, or reading a passage that inspires focus. Prime your mind for the challenges ahead. Your brain reacts to cues. If your first hour is intentional, the next hours follow the pattern. If it's passive, the rest of the day will passively react to the whims of others. That's the key. You must also front-load your day with high-impact tasks. The tasks that matter most, the ones that deliver results, must be tackled first. Low-value activities, social chatter, trivial emails, they are distractions. You don't need permission to say no. The morning is for action, not reaction. You have a choice: lead your day or be led by it. Here's a tip. Set a non-negotiable wake time. No snooze, no exceptions. Build a chain of consecutive mornings completed. That chain is your discipline scorecard. Each day you break the chain is a day you lose momentum. Wake strong, act first, own every hour. Your morning is non-negotiable. Your evening matters too. Prepare the night before, set clothes out, plan tasks, reduce decision fatigue. Your morning becomes automatic, preloaded with action triggers. Discipline is not improvised, it's engineered. You have a choice: plan for victory or let chaos dictate. That's the key. Let's visualize the impact. If you dominate your morning consistently for 1 week, your productivity skyrockets. 2 weeks, habits solidify. After a month, momentum becomes unstoppable. Your energy, focus, and output compound. Small morning victories are massive life wins. Wake strong, act first, own every hour. Your morning is non-negotiable. Finally, understand this. Your morning is a microcosm of life. The habits you enforce early shape your choices later. Procrastination is curtailed. Excuses shrink. Your energy becomes deliberate. Your day becomes intentional. You have a choice: dominate or drift. Every minute matters. That's the key. Action steps for today. 1. Choose your wake-up time and stick to it. No exceptions. 2. Design a 60-minute ritual that includes movement, mental clarity, and priority work. 3. Remove distractions. Guard your first hour like it's life or death. Remember, discipline is not motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline is engineered. Your morning is your laboratory. Conduct experiments. Force results. Dominate it. You have a choice. Wake strong. Act first. Own every hour. Your morning is non-negotiable. Excuses are the language of weakness. They're polite lies we tell ourselves to justify inaction. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. I don't have time. Every excuse is a minute stolen from your life. Every excuse compounds into a pattern of failure. You have a choice: continue feeding weakness or crush excuses and replace them with unstoppable habits. That's the key. Habits are not glamorous. They're not sexy. They're boring, repetitive, consistent. But that's the point. Habits are discipline made visible. Action reinforced until it becomes automatic. Your morning workout, your daily reading, your focused work session. Every repeated behavior strengthens the muscle of discipline. You don't need permission from anyone. You need repetition. Let's be honest. Motivation doesn't last. It's fleeting. One day you feel like doing something, the next day you don't. Relying on motivation is a trap. That's weakness. Habit replaces motivation. Habit doesn't wait.
Habit doesn't ask permission. Habit forces action. Habit wins when excuses fail. You have a choice. Follow fleeting feelings or build systems that demand results. Start with awareness. Identify the excuses you tell yourself daily. Are they about energy, time, skill, fear? Excuses are predictable. They come like clockwork. Name them. Call them out. When you see an excuse forming, stop it. Break it. Replace it immediately with action. That's the key. Action always beats rationalization. Habit always beats hesitation. Here's a real-world example. A writer wants to finish a book. Each day they feel tired. Life feels heavy. The first reaction is to wait for inspiration. The second reaction, the disciplined choice, is to sit at the desk anyway. 500 words, no more. The habit compounds. A week later, 3,500 words. A month later, a full manuscript. Weakness dies when repeated action is enforced, habit by habit, action by action. That's the key. Triggers are critical. You cannot rely on willpower alone. Willpower fades. Triggers enforce habits. Place reminders. Set alarms. Pair tasks with existing routines. Wake up, immediately drink water, then move into exercise. Finish exercise, then journal. Journal, then attack your most important task. Chain actions together. This is how small behaviors snowball into unstoppable momentum. You have a choice, chaos or system. Choose the system. Excuses also thrive on comfort. Weakness loves comfort. You feel cozy, and suddenly you're scrolling, snoozing, and delaying. Break comfort's hold. Push yourself daily, even when tired, even when you feel resistance, even when no one is watching. The habit doesn't care about excuses. The habit cares about consistency. You don't need permission to force action. You have a choice. Obey comfort or build unstoppable momentum.
Consistency is the backbone of habit. Skipping one day doesn't feel like much. Skipping 2 starts a pattern. Skipping 3, you're back at square one. Protect your streak. Guard it like your life depends on it. Each day you enforce action, the chain strengthens. Each day you excuse yourself, weakness deepens. Habit by habit, action by action, that's the key. Now, let's tackle mental reframing. Excuses are signals, not truths. Feeling tired is a signal. You cannot let signals dictate outcomes. Feeling fear is a signal. You cannot let fear dictate your path. Habits transform signals into action. You act despite discomfort. You act despite doubt. You act because action compounds into freedom. You have a choice. Obey weakness or obey your future self. Start with one keystone habit, the one that triggers other habits naturally. Exercise, reading, or writing. Once it sticks, expand. Layer new habits. Make action unavoidable. Your environment should support habit formation. Place your workout gear in plain sight. Keep your journal by the bed. Remove distractions. Systems make habits easy. Excuses make systems weak. You have a choice. Build systems or remain a victim of randomness. Reward yourself strategically. Small wins reinforce habit loops. Complete a workout, then enjoy a shower or a short walk. Finish writing 500 words, then read for 10 minutes. Reinforcement is critical. Habits grow when small successes accumulate. Weakness fades when action accumulates. Habit by habit, action by action, that's the key. Avoid the trap of perfection.
You will fail occasionally, miss a day, feel resistance. That's normal. What matters is the return. Pick up where you left off immediately. Momentum compounds faster than perfection. One perfect streak cannot replace consistent action over time. You have a choice: obsess over missed days or continue building habits relentlessly. Choose the relentless path. Excuses are dangerous because they feel harmless, but harmless is lethal. Every excuse chipped away at your potential. Every habit constructed builds a fortress of self-discipline. Build momentum that cannot be broken. Habits are the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. You don't need anyone to approve it. You have a choice: excuse or act, habit or weakness. That's the key. Actionable steps for today. 1. Identify one excuse you've used this week. Commit to replacing it with an immediate action. 2. Pick one keystone habit to enforce daily. No skips, no excuses. 3. Set a trigger and environment that makes skipping impossible. Remember, the habit is stronger than your feelings. The habit is stronger than your circumstances. The habit is stronger than excuses. Habit by habit, action by action. Weakness dies when repeated action is enforced. You have a choice: build momentum, crush excuses. Habits make you unstoppable.
Chapter 6. Guard your focus like a weapon. Focus is your most valuable asset. More than time, more than energy, more than talent. Without focus, potential becomes wasted effort. Without focus, action becomes chaos. Without focus, results evaporate. That's the key. You have a choice: scatter your attention or guard it like a weapon. Distractions are everywhere. Notifications ping, emails pile up, social media tempts, colleagues, friends, and family pull you in 50 directions. The world wants your attention for free, and every second surrendered is a step backward. Discipline is not just action. Discipline is protecting your attention from the noise. You don't need their permission. You need control. Imagine a CEO at the peak of performance, not scrolling through Twitter, not responding to every ping, not multitasking, working in deep focus blocks. Every hour devoted to the most important task compounds into extraordinary results. That's not luck. That focus was made visible. Attention is power. Protect it. The first step is clarity. Know what deserves your attention and what does not. Everything else is a thief. Social media, trash for your focus. Gossip, trash. Distractions disguised as urgent emails, trash. You have a choice: feed weakness or feed results. Feed distraction or feed mastery. That's the key. Set boundaries ruthlessly. Close tabs, turn off notifications, silence your phone. Schedule your email check. Tell others when you are unavailable. Protect your focus like it is a vault, because it is. Every time you allow interruptions, you weaken your attention muscle. Every time you enforce focus, you strengthen it. Habit by habit, action by action. Your environment enforces or destroys focus. A messy desk is a chaotic mind. An open browser tab is a wandering mind. Remove temptation. Create a workspace that enforces discipline. Put the phone in another room. Use apps that block distractions. Surround yourself with cues that demand attention. Attention is your weapon. Guard it with precision. Time blocking is non-negotiable. Assign dedicated hours for deep work. Protect these hours like your life depends on it.
During these blocks, nothing else exists. No notifications, no multitasking, no excuses. Focus relentlessly. Your results depend entirely on the quality of your attention. You have a choice: scatter your mind or concentrate it into a laser beam. That's the key. Recognize the cost of lost focus. Every distraction steals seconds, minutes, hours. Hours lost accumulate into days, weeks, and months of wasted effort. Imagine what you could build with those hours reclaimed. Focus is your leverage. Protect it. Use it wisely. You don't need permission to enforce boundaries. You don't need permission to prioritize what matters. Discipline demands it. Internal distractions are just as dangerous. Doubts, worries, negative self-talk, rumination. If left unchecked, internal noise can derail even the strongest external controls. Guard your mind as fiercely as your environment. Interrupt internal chatter with action. Replace worry with a task. Replace doubt with evidence of progress. Habits of attention are habits of power. You have a choice: allow the mind to wander or command it. That's the key.
Use rituals to enforce focus. Start each work session with a single intentional action. Close all unrelated apps. Clear your desk. Breathe. Set a timer. Begin. A ritual signals the mind that distraction is over. The brain follows cues. Your environment cues action. Your actions reinforce focus. Focus relentlessly. Block everything else. Habit by habit. That's the key. Focus is not passive. It requires energy, training, and vigilance. Weakness lies in scattered attention. Strength is in concentrated, deliberate attention. You don't need permission to defend your mind. You don't need motivation to enforce boundaries. Focus itself becomes a habit when practiced repeatedly. There will be interruptions. There will be emergencies. There will be people who insist on breaking your attention. Decide in advance what matters. Decide what deserves your energy. Let everything else pass. You have a choice: react to every ping or remain untouchable. That's the key. Focus compounds. The more you protect it, the more powerful you become. Each deep focus block produces results that multiply over time. Each distraction ignored is a victory over weakness. Habit by habit, action by action, focus relentlessly. Block everything else. Your results depend on your attention. Actionable steps today. 1. Identify your biggest attention leaks. Social media, phone, email, noise. Remove them. 2. Schedule at least one 90-minute deep focus block today. Silence everything else. 3. Create a simple ritual to signal your brain. Begin work, enforce attention, block distraction. Remember, attention is power. Protect it, guard it, nourish it. Every interruption you resist strengthens your discipline. Every second of focused work compounds into unstoppable momentum. Habit by habit, action by action. Weakness dies when attention is enforced. You have a choice. Guard your focus like a weapon.
Chapter 7. Force yourself to finish, no matter what. Starting is easy. Anyone can start. It takes no courage, no commitment, and no mental toughness to begin. The real test, the test that separates the weak from the unstoppable, is finishing. Completion is where the magic happens. Completion is power. Completion is discipline made visible. You have a choice: stop at comfort or push through and claim mastery. That's the key. Look around you. Most people never finish. They start tasks with excitement, energy, and a sense of purpose, but halfway through, life's friction hits. They get tired, They feel doubt, they feel pain, and they quit. Opportunities slip through their fingers. Dreams remain ideas. Plans remain scribbled on paper. Starting is optional. Finishing is mandatory if you want results. Ask yourself this: have you ever quit something just because it got hard? Something that, in hindsight, would have changed your life if only you'd pushed a little longer? Discipline isn't about waiting for motivation. It's about forcing action when you feel resistance. It's about showing up when every part of your body and mind screams to stop. That resistance, that's the proving ground. That's where discipline lives. That's where winners are forged. Let's break it down. Completion is not a feeling. It is a decision. You will never feel like finishing when the work is tough. You will never feel like pushing through when the grind is relentless. Motivation will lie. Inspiration will falter. The only thing that will carry you across the finish line is action. You force it, you repeat it, you do it when nobody is watching. That's the key. Look at athletes. They don't train until they feel like it. They train until they can't breathe, until their muscles scream, until their body demands surrender. They force themselves to finish because every repetition compounds strength. You want the same results in your life. You want mastery over your craft, your career, your growth? Then finish what you start. Force yourself to finish. Repeat until it's automatic. Writers, creators, students, entrepreneurs, listen carefully. The first draft is the start. The book is not finished until the last chapter is written. The project is not done until the last detail is polished. The degree is not earned until the final exam is completed. The business is not a success until you ship the product, deliver the service, and serve the client. Completion is non-negotiable. You don't need anyone's permission to finish. You have a choice. Decide now, finish or fade. Now, let's talk about the internal barriers. Pain, fatigue, doubt, boredom, these are your enemies. They lie. They whisper that quitting is acceptable. They pretend to protect you. Do not listen. Every time you push past pain, you train your mind to embrace resilience. Every time you finish, you build momentum. Momentum compounds. Momentum breeds confidence. Momentum creates results. Finish. Force finish. Repeat. That is how unstoppable people are made. Let's get practical. How do you force yourself to finish? First, set a non-negotiable endpoint. Define clearly what completion looks like. Ambiguity is your enemy. The more specific your goal, the easier it is to track progress and push through. Athletes finish workouts. Writers finish pages. Students finish assignments. You must finish tasks, not just start them. That's the key.
Second, chunk the work. Massive tasks overwhelm the mind. Break them into smaller, actionable steps. Each step completed reinforces your ability to see things through. Action breeds action. Completion becomes attainable when the journey is broken down, not when it is left as a mountain. Step by step, block by block, finish each piece, then move to the next. Force the process. Third, eliminate excuses. Weak minds search for reasons to quit. Strong minds search for ways to continue. It's not about how tired you are. It's not about how inconvenient it is. It's about discipline. Repetition kills excuses. Action silences doubt. Finish. Force finish. Your results are in the doing, not in the thinking. Here's another truth. Momentum is not just physical, it's mental. Every completion strengthens your self-belief. Every task finished increases your confidence to tackle the next one.
Stop quitting. Stop doubting. Stop waiting for ideal conditions. Start finishing. That's the key. Your success compounds with each finish, not each start. Let's illustrate with a real-world example. Consider a student completing a degree while working full-time. Every assignment, every project, every exam is a mini battle. Pain, fatigue, and distraction are constant. Most would quit. Few persist. Those who do, graduate. Those who finish, win. Completion is the ultimate test. The same principle applies in business, fitness, writing, and personal growth. Finishing separates the dreamers from the doers. Now, repetition works differently than you think. It is not mindless. It is deliberate. You finish deliberately. You finish strategically. You finish with intensity. Force completion in one area of your life, then translate it to another. The discipline you cultivate in work applies to health. The discipline in health applies to relationships. The discipline in relationships applies to wealth. Completion is universal. Force finish. Repeat. That's the key. There will be times when the task seems unbearable, when you feel drained, discouraged, or demoralized. That is precisely when you must double down. Pain is temporary. Results are permanent. Discipline is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. You have a choice: succumb to weakness or finish and claim victory. Finish. Force finish. Repeat. Momentum is earned in these moments, not the easy ones. Finally, reflect on your current life. What is unfinished? What have you started and abandoned? What opportunities have slipped because you refuse to push through? Identify the gaps. Confront the excuses. Commit, then act. Every time you finish, you reinforce a stronger version of yourself. Every time you force yourself to complete, you build unstoppable momentum. Every time you repeat this process, you move closer to mastery. Finish. Force finish. Repeat. That is the path. Completion is not optional. Discipline is not optional. Results are not optional. You don't need permission. You have a choice. Finish. Force finish. Repeat. Pain will come. Doubt will come. Excuses will come. None of it matters. What matters is seeing it through. What matters is finishing. What matters is building momentum. That's the key. That's the difference between the weak and the untouchable. You have started. You are capable. Now it's finish. Force yourself to finish no matter what. Your next chapter of discipline begins with one act: completion. You mastered starting. Now dominate finishing. And when you do, you will be ready for the ultimate challenge of repeat.
Chapter 8. Build iron will. Live untouchable. This is the pinnacle, the final challenge, the point where most people break and the disciplined rise. You've faced weakness. You've forced action. You've mastered your habits. You've finished what you started. Now you step into a level few ever reach: iron will. This is where life stops dictating your choices, where fear no longer commands your moves, and where distraction bows before your focus. You have a choice: remain influenced by every passing impulse, or live untouchable. That's the key.
Iron will is not about brute strength or luck. It's about repeated decisions to act against weakness. Every time you say no to distraction, you forge a stronger mind. Every time you push forward when comfort whispers rest, you build endurance. Every time you ignore the noise of society and focus on your own growth, you expand your independence. Strength is built one disciplined action at a time, repeated until it becomes instinct. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval. You need persistence. Think of the people who are untouchable. They don't wait for conditions to be perfect. They don't seek validation. They don't crumble under pressure. Their lives are shielded by consistent, disciplined actions. Their energy is protected. Their focus is relentless. Their vision is uninterrupted. You can reach the same level, but only if you commit to building a mind that cannot be swayed. Resist weakness. Strengthen relentlessly. Live untouchable. What does it mean to be untouchable? Untouchable is not arrogance. It's control. It's mastery over your choices. Untouchable people don't let fear dictate their moves. They don't allow doubt to delay action. They don't surrender to temptation. They act in alignment with their goals, not their moods. That's the key. Your life becomes untouchable when discipline rules every decision. You have a choice: control or chaos, strength or surrender. Fear, doubt, and temptation are constant. They never disappear. The untouchable acknowledge them, but never let them govern action. Fear appears, act anyway. Doubt appears, act anyway. Temptation appears, resist. Strength is not the absence of challenge. Strength is moving forward in spite of it. Every act of resistance reinforces your mental fortress. Every surrender feeds weakness. Strengthen relentlessly. Live untouchable. Let's examine societal pressure. The world constantly tells you what to want, how to act, and what to value. Weak minds obey. Untouchable minds reject. They define their own rules. They measure success by mastery, not by popularity. They prioritize long-term freedom over short-term approval. You have a choice: bend to pressure or set your own standard. Resist weakness. Live untouchable. Every decision tests your will. Each moment is an opportunity to reinforce strength. Eat with discipline, even when cravings scream. Work with persistence, even when fatigue whispers. Speak with intention, even when distractions clamor. Focus on mastery, not comfort. Discipline becomes the filter for every action. That's the key. Temptation will always be present. Your mind will whisper, rest, wait, take the easy path. That is the weakness of trying to survive. Crush it. Act according to your standard, not your impulses. Each victory over temptation strengthens your will. Each surrender weakens it. Strengthen relentlessly. Live untouchable.
Consistency is non-negotiable. Iron will is built through daily, relentless action. One act of discipline is progress. Repetition solidifies it. Protect your mornings. Guard your focus. Complete every task. Reflect, adjust, and repeat. Over months, these repeated choices build an untouchable mind. You have a choice: be sporadic or unstoppable. That's the key. Untouchable minds often walk alone. They reject conformity. They embrace discomfort. They don't chase approval. Isolation is a necessary part of strength. You must accept it.
Growth requires it. Independence demands it. Strength lies in persistence, even when others doubt or abandon you. Resist weakness. Strengthen relentlessly. Live untouchable. Examples abound. Entrepreneurs who persist despite rejections. Athletes who finish workouts unexhausted. Writers who complete books despite criticism. Students who graduate despite obstacles. Their lives are untouchable because their will is iron. They are immune to chaos, distraction, and fear. They act. They persist. They dominate. You can do the same, but only if you act relentlessly. Here's the truth. Untouchable is a lifestyle, not a moment. It is forged through repeated disciplined choices. Every day you choose action over hesitation, focus over distraction, and discipline over comfort. You fortify your mind. Resist weakness, strengthen relentlessly, live untouchable. That's the key. And when life attacks, rise. When opportunity tests you, act. When fear threatens, advance. Untouchable is not perfection, it's control. It's freedom, it's power over your impulses. You have a choice. Remain swayed by chaos or act according to vision. Choose dominance, choose discipline, choose to be untouchable. Everything you've learned culminates here. Your skills, your habits, your completion, your focus. Now it's time to cement your mind. Iron will is ultimate freedom. Your life is unstoppable. Your vision is clear. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. That's the key. The challenge is simple. Pick one area of your life. Apply complete discipline. Remove all excuses. Guard your focus. Finish what you start. Repeat until it's second nature. Iron will is forged in action. Freedom is earned through relentless discipline. This is your moment. Build iron will. Live untouchable. This is it. Discipline isn't optional. Excuses are over. You've learned the tools. Face your weakness. Force action. Master your environment. Own your mornings. Crush excuses. Guard your focus. Finish what you start. Build iron will. Every lesson, every chapter, every repetition leads to one truth. You control your life only when you control yourself. No one will save you. No one will push you. The power is in your hands. Start today. Start now. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop looking for permission. Act relentlessly. Build habits that refuse failure. Become unstoppable. If this audiobook pushes you to take control of your life, don't stop here. Like this video to show you're committed to building unstoppable discipline. Subscribe to the channel for more motivational audiobooks and life-transforming strategies. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a video that could change your future. And share this with someone who needs to hear this message today. Your focus is your power. I dare you, implement every principle in the next 24 hours. Force yourself. Win. Your life depends on it.